and this is a video, and now this is going to be part 2 of a video that, this is going to be a continuation from part 1, but instead of recapping 2013, I'm going to start by thinking what has changed since today, November 30th, let's say, and 2000 and today, April 14th, I believe, whatever the hell today is, but April like something. I don't give a shit when. I'm sorry for cursing, but whatever day it is, I know we're about a month away from the start. So what has changed? The answer was a lot. Last year, as we know, was officially a neutral year, but for most of the year, we seemed to have borderline La Nina conditions. Though, even though in some ways it acted like an El Nino. And it was a very strange set of circumstances that are unlikely to be repeated again. Anytime else it's really been. We've never seen a season like it with the Atlantic, with being a La Nina last year. The Atlantic being so quiet, despite all the hype it got. And the East Pacific having a bunch of weak storms despite the borderline La Nina effect. Even though in December, briefly got one neutral, we were still at borderline La Nina conditions for a couple months until around February that things started to improve. And we started to get a little bit warmer. But even in January and February, there were indications that there was some very warm water emerging at the subsurface. Like, first indications began like late December or January, when Mars began predicting an El Nino Southern Oscillation event along the equatorial East Pacific. And so far, looks like that's going to come true. But I'll get to that in a sec. But for now, let's just assume that, for now, the water began getting warmer on the subsurface, began moving off the coastal water, and soon enough, the surface was looking pretty normal, with average to near average to slightly above it. Near or slightly above average temperatures have quickly emerged across the equatorial East Pacific. It looked inevitable that, and it still looks inevitable, that El Nino is going to form. And then compares the greatest El Nino of all. El Nino, by definition, is the warming of waters in the Pacific Ocean, and occurs on average every like 2 to 5 years. I believe during Generation 5, which is pretty much the active era. I officially refer to it as Generation 5, but you will also occasionally see me calling it the active era, because it was kind of the glory days of the EPAC. There were a total of 6 El Ninos, lasting from, I think it was in the mid-70s to the mid-90s on my web. Or on my Google document, I believe I officially have 76 to 95, though you could argue it lasted until 98, 99, around that time. You could argue it started in 82, you could argue it started in 1970. Back until recently, the popular belief was that it lasted from 1970 to 1994. But that belief has now been dismissed, as we know more. So, but that's all. The Burns move on, and then but it's been the greatest outing of all time is 1997. Really epic. Google it. I don't have the time to keep going on about it, but just if you want to know more, Google 1997 El Nino, and you'll get plenty of results. You get a Wikipedia page which is pretty good. I mean, it's not good by WPTC standards, but it's still pretty good. And then, but then there's, starting around February, people across various amateurs and mets begin comparing the year 2014 to 1997 in terms of El Nino strength and the potential. The subsurface is probably slightly warmer than it was in 97, so it made more sense that we get a slightly stronger El Nino. No El Nino has even, in recent times, since 95, was even thought of coming down around May. Before I say that May, I think 2009, that's when 2002 got going around May. 2009 was another El Nino, the most recent one got its first plus 5 read on June 17th, 2009 AD. Just right now we're in April, and we're relatively close to getting our first half a degree 0.5 C reading. So progress has been tremendous, and this is very, very similar to 97. If not, but it was almost certain until a few days ago. But as you know, the internet, as soon as like an idea comes to suppress that theory, this whole El Nino cancel subject comes up. It's kind of ridiculous. I realize with 2012 busting and all that crap, but without 2012 El Nino not materializing as humans such as me had hoped, there's been some, like, an outrage Joe Bastardi and his whole anti-global warming crew. And I don't want to get too political into this, but for non-scientific reasons I started saying no Super Nino. One, I don't think Super Nino, I won't come. And they're just freaking out, causing the media has overhyped it again and again. I believe one of his buddies' names is Bob Tor. I don't know. I know one of his names is Bob. Bob, yeah, very unique name. Very, very unique name. Very, very unique name. Anyway, so yeah, and they're going with what? El Nino. No Super Nino. And that sparked like a whole shutdown of like all the optimists that's on Japan now calling for, I think people calling for like Super Nino, El Nino to no El Nino, or neutral. And this has changed the whole mentality of the tropic, or the hurricane trackers, I should say. And people, as usual, I'm going to be a critical here, are extreme. Storms okay, people, it's just, the least tweaks, especially yesterday when Eric Blake tweeted that MJL may not be able to move fast enough into the Pacific that could allow for 2014 to really do what 1997 did, and do it quickly. That really sparked this. But, in my opinion, they're wrong as usual. Wrong. Not wrong. What kind of wrong? I wouldn't say they're wrong, but there's just something to board. When I first heard this 1997 comparison, I was really, what's the word? For lack of a better word, I was really skeptical. Skeptical is actually a pretty good word. I was really skeptical to believe that there would be an El Nino, a monster El Nino. What if the calendar flipped into March and April, and seasonal temperatures started getting dramatically warmer? I started to believe that this would be a 1997 El Nino. And until a few days ago, looked certain. What happened a few days ago is the ocean cooled slightly, but we're still a warming zone. It's cooled slightly compared to average, I should say. 2010. I won't discuss 2010, but it was still. PDL was also turned positive. That's another huge plus. I'll probably talk about that later. But El Nino is We'll talk about El Nino probably a bit. Maybe next part. I don't know. Alright. Is this video still working? Alright, 10 minutes. We're 10 minutes in. 10 more minutes. 10 minutes in. I'll hold back to something to say. I will say that now there's this debate. I think there's some optimism through Twitter here. People on Twitter have still expressed some optimism. In my opinion, it's that the odds of 1997 only you won't have minutes. The MJ is still gonna get here. And by that, if it's moving slower, the slower it moves, the slower it's gonna. By logic says the longer it'll stay here. I mean, it's not always true, but logic says that. So there's gonna be some benefit. Even in El Nino's one tend to like slow down sometimes. Some really weaken a little bit. But then the overall trend is still strong. It kind of go in a stair-step line. Just like, in the same way that the stock market, how those graphs go up and down and up and down and up and down. It's kind of like that. Especially the daily or hourly ones. And it's really, I know it's hard not to, but I really try not to get too hooked up into them. I mean, I guess I don't know the Mormons, but the ways out. But now the question is, $1 million question is, what exactly does an El Nino mean to the Eastern Pacific? And no, it's not nothing. In fact, it means a lot. It means that there's a chance not that it's going to, there's a likelihood that the East Pacific will be more active than normal. Now, is that going to happen for sure? That's to be determined. But go look at like 1997, for example. That was an active season. 2002 was active. 2009 was active. 2006 was active. And going back to the Aces together, I might talk about it next episode, but I'm going to wrap it up. But the point is that El Nino increases Pacific hurricane activity. Now I'm going to call it a part right now. I'm going to take a brief break and I'll start part 3 later this afternoon. I am signing off formally this time because I kind of ended the last part quite abruptly.